Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our webinar on Beyond LED Lighting. Take control of your energy and your space now. My name is Lori Armstrong, and I will be your moderator today. Before we get started, I just wanted to go through a few housekeeping items. On the screen in front of you, you should be seeing several widgets, or mini windows within your browser. On the top left is the Q&A widget. Type a question at any time, and we'll answer as many as we can at the end of the webinar. Below that is our speaker's bio and contact information. The big one in the center is where the presentation itself will show up. Finally, left of the slides is a survey. If you have to jump off early, please take a moment to answer those few questions. A recording of this webinar will be available before the end of the day, and you'll receive an email tomorrow with the link. Or you can simply use the link you used today to log into the webinar to access the recorded version. So that covers the basic housekeeping. Let's get right to it. Today's presenter is Justin Moon. Justin is the Director of Vertical Marketing at Acuity Brands. He has over 10 years of experience in the lighting industry, most of which were spent working with industrial facilities. He is a veteran of the United States Army and holds an MBA from Liberty University. It's my pleasure to introduce Justin Moon.
Thank you, Lori, for the introduction. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to talk with you today and to go beyond LED lighting with ways to take control of your energy and your space now. So without further ado, let's get started. Of all the 7 habits from Stephen Covey, this one resonates the most for me. Begin with the end in mind. And I think it's a great place to start when thinking about what you want from your facility or operation. In 5 years, what do you want from your facility? How do you want it to be meeting your business needs now and in the future? Knowing where you want to be enables you to create the right plan to get there. The end is a facility-specific, data-driven operation strategy that enables you to reduce expenses and increase functionality in your space. So that statement sounds great, but let's break it down in a real-life scenario. In the end, you have the data you need to make exceptional business decisions that could save you big bucks. This data is given to you in easy-to-use dashboards that give you insights. These insights enable you to hone in on your energy usage and also your utilization, such as conference room 1 is in use 85% of the workday, and Rob's office is in use 10% of the workday. From there, you take the insights and create a strategy. So this strategy would be to turn Rob's office into a collaboration room that hopefully is going to help you achieve some meaningful results. By turning Rob's office into a collaboration room, you're able to reduce your wasted property spend and increase your opportunity for teamwork. So we see that this facility-specific, data-driven operation strategy starts with data and ends with results that will impact your bottom line. So how do you get there? Well, like any journey, it's good to keep the end in mind. Sometimes starting a journey can seem daunting, especially if you focus on just the beginning. A good example is driving to the beach for a family vacation. If I focus on the beach, then the fact that my kids are terrors in the car and always ask, are we there yet, suddenly becomes a little less annoying because I know I'll be on the beach soon. So the first step in this journey is a pretty straightforward one. Convert to LED fixtures. There's no shortage of information out there to show you the benefits of converting to LED. We've hosted a number of different webinars on the topic, and there's plenty of content on our website and elsewhere on the web. So how do we summarize all of that content into basically one idea? Easy. LED saves you money on energy and maintenance and is the digital backbone to realizing more from your facility. Let's look at each one of those in a little bit more detail. No surprise here, LED lighting saves you big on energy, up to 65% in some cases. That's big dollars that you realize instantly. Looking at it from an industrial lighting perspective, today's LED replacement can use about 100 watts of energy, which can replace up to a 400 watt HID. So you can see that's some big savings right there switching to LED. Number 2 is that LED lighting saves you big on lighting maintenance. In fact, LED lighting in some cases can eliminate most of your maintenance spend altogether. Again, that is some serious savings up front. Think about how you do maintenance in your facility, right? The components that go into it, and also having to rent the scissor lift, the labor that goes into it, that's some serious spend that you can be doing on a yearly maintenance. One of the partners that we work with was spending $12,000 a year just on the lighting maintenance alone, and that didn't include the components. So that's big dollars that you can save. And lastly, LED lighting is the digital backbone to achieving more. The levels of control afforded by switching over to LED enable you to customize light output and save money while doing it. Step 2 on the journey to the end is to implement controls. There are several lighting control strategies that you should definitely implement in your facility to save and to optimize. These strategies will lay the groundwork to achieving the end. So what are the controls strategies that you should be implementing in your facility today? We're going to look at occupancy sensing, daylight harvesting, auto scheduling, load shedding, task tuning, and finally building management system integration. So let's get started at looking at those in more detail. So if no one is in the space, why pay to light it? Occupancy sensing is pretty straightforward. The sensor turns lights off or dims them when no one is in the space. The key here is that you don't have to turn the lights off. I've heard this from many customers. I can't use sensors because I'm a 24/7 facility or the lights cannot turn off. The great news is that you can choose any percentage you want to dim the lights to when unoccupied. Need 20% light for safety? No problem. Programming the sensor is simple. Typically, savings from this strategy can range from 15 to 55% on average. It can go higher in certain areas of the facility. In some cases, the back of the warehouse can be off or dimmed 80% of the time. And this strategy is easy to implement across every area of the facility, from offices, restrooms, hallways, aisles, and even outdoor spaces. What about your facility? What areas could you use a sensor? Heck, I just put one in my son's closet because he never turns the light off. If daylight is available, why use artificial light? That's an important question when it comes to the next strategy of daylight harvesting. Basically, daylight harvesting automatically regulates the use of your electric lighting in a building in response to the amount of daylight available. So say you want to keep 30 foot candles in your area. The sensor would read the amount of natural light coming into the space and then adjust the electric lighting to maintain the 30 foot candles at all times. Cloudy days will use more electric lighting to maintain the foot candles, while sunny days will use less electric lighting, and so on. Any space that has natural light coming in is a candidate for the strategy. Average savings can be between 15% and 45%, but really it's the power of off that is so attractive. One bonus is that you can combine occupancy sensing and daylight harvesting strategies by using a combo sensor. It's a perfect way to combine these strategies to maximize savings quickly. Again, think about your facility. Where should you implement a daylight harvesting strategy? Where should you adopt both at one time? This is great in warehouses where you have skylights. Easily use that combination sensor throughout the warehouse space. If your tasks vary based on time of day or other time-based business patterns, why not look at a scheduling strategy? For time-specific control of the lighting, equipment, or HVAC systems, many choose to use a scheduling strategy. In other words, to base their lighting's behavior on the time of day as it applies to shift schedule or other factors. This is a great way to automate energy savings by controlling the desired light level throughout the day or night without wasting electricity. It is easy to set up multiple schedules and switch between them based on business factors. The best part of the scheduling strategy is the subtle little things that can be tried and managed that save 2% here or 3% there. These savings then stack up with the broader range being between 10 and 40%. What's a smart way to reduce peak pricing or comply quickly with the utility's demand response request? The load shedding strategy reduces energy usage temporarily, either automatically based on a demand response signal or manually. It's a way to selectively reduce the load of a system to avoid times of peak energy pricing, such as when demand for air conditioning during times of extreme heat outpaces a utility's available energy. Mid-afternoon hours, for example, might be an ideal for dimming lighting to reduce the energy drain while still providing adequate, if not ideal, lighting for building occupants. You can employ this strategy to reduce your demand-based charges as well. If your demand charge is set at certain times of the year, you can employ the load shedding strategy to effectively reduce your demand charges and therefore save you money for the next year or so. Typical savings can range between 15 and 45%. So we've got two more left. If tasks vary throughout your space, why pay for uniform lighting? Task tuning means programming the output of an individual or group of fixtures to the level that provides just the right amount of light for the space, task, or area. Think about areas where task lighting is providing the bulk of the lighting. With task tuning, you can adjust the overhead lighting to say 80 or 90% of the output while utilizing the task lighting. This is a great way to easily squeeze additional savings out of your lighting system. What about your facility? Is there a way that you can reduce the output of your high bay lighting and take advantage of the task lighting that's around? That's just one way to save additional energy. Enabling your lighting control system to integrate with the building management system helps centralize functions and reduces energy consumption, meaning even more savings. With today's technologies, these two systems are designed to work together. What's more, real-time data, such as occupancy status, helps you optimize your space based on usage. So the strategy of occupancy sensing goes beyond just controlling lighting, and the same sensor can now help save energy on lighting and HVAC, leading to greater energy savings as well as occupant comfort. So one more time, as a recap, here are the 6 main strategies that you should be implementing in your facility to assert control over your lighting energy spend and can integrate with broader building management systems to help you save more in other areas as well. So, let's take a vote here. Who is still with me? The end is near, I promise. So far, we've talked about LED lighting and the 6 control strategies. But now we get to talk about some fun stuff that can truly give you more data to make better business decisions beyond just controlling lighting and HVAC, and will get us to the end. So now that the end is near, remember we said the end was a facility-specific, data-driven operation strategy, and there are 2 such that you can implement ASAP. The first one is broad, all-encompassing energy management, and the second is space utilization. The best part of both of these is they work hand in hand with LED lighting and the control strategies to leverage the components and data in new ways. Let's check out energy management in more detail. Do you know where your energy is going? Energy is a necessary expense and one that can quickly spiral out of control. On average, depending on your building, 60% of energy spend is on lighting and HVAC. And precise energy usage is largely unmeasured. We've all heard the saying, you can't control what you don't measure. Well, that's exactly what the Energy Management Dashboard is all about, giving you the precise measures you need around energy spend so that you can control. Need to see the different load types in your building? Say the lighting load, the HVAC load, plug load, machines, maybe your forklift charging stations, or etc. You can quickly and easily. Want to see different floors in a building along with the total spend? You can see that as well. Need a way to do sub-metering for your tenants? That can be accomplished. The dashboards give you accurate data on consumption and help you identify usage trends and savings opportunities. Now you can make data-driven decisions about your energy. So let's look at a real-world application. Floor 1's consumption has gone up 25% since last month. By looking at the dashboard, we can see that Floor 1's plug load consumption is the root cause. So with the insights given to you by the dashboard, you can send your maintenance crew down to Floor 1 and see if something new is installed that's causing the increase in consumption. What about some other scenarios in your facility? You can easily use this data to examine multiple points and really hone in on what makes your facility tick from an energy perspective. Now let's look at what is, to me, one of the more exciting data streams available to truly help your space utilization. But it does make you ask the question, what do you know about your space? Think about how much you spend each year on the following: your employees, your space, and your energy. We've seen larger numbers spent on employees and space per year than on energy. 60% of office space is unoccupied, and we've seen this with some of the studies we've been running. We've already converted a half dozen offices into pop-up collaboration rooms in order to utilize our space better. We've been able to quickly identify the offices that are not being used and then be able to reuse that space accordingly. And it has largely been unmeasured by owners. You know, in the past, sometimes even now, you have to go to great lengths to get this data in order to take action. From getting a consultant to maybe Bluetooth sensors or utilizing non-lighting occupancy sensors. But with this software, it makes it a lot easier. Now, this strategy is simple. By using the sensors you've already deployed for the occupancy sensing strategy we talked about a few minutes ago, you're able to get real-time space utilization data segmented by groups, zones, or all the way down to individual rooms. You can identify current peak and average utilization. You can view the trends for zones or sensors. You can manage and compare multiple buildings, floors, and space types. You can find under and overutilized areas. You can enable meeting management as well as see real-time availability, book meetings from the dashboard, see room amenities ahead of time, and then understand which amenities drive usage in your space. So let's take a look at some more real-world applications. The data from the software will show you that floor 1 is used 92% on average, and it'll show you that floor 2 is only used 60% on average. So using this data and insights, you can make kind of the strategy to move people to floor 2 and create some more meeting space available on floor 1. Another way you can use this in a real-world application is to identify what's the best room and kind of room amenities. So you can see through the software that presentation room has a smart TV and video conferencing. Conference room 3 can hold 25 people, and room 6 is available between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. So knowing that your meeting is just between you and a few of your colleagues, you decide to grab room 6 between 3 and 4 because you don't need a large conference room, and having the smart TV and video conferencing is not something that you need. So you're able to make better decisions and get a room quickly. So these last two strategies to me are really, really exciting in terms of being able to leverage the entire process for LED lighting, the control strategies that you're going to be doing, and then taking all that data and giving you a better glimpse into what you're able to do in your facility. So very exciting stuff. I encourage you to learn more about it. And it makes you kind of really take a step back and identify where are you in the journey. And wherever you are, there is room to go up. There is room to get better. There is room for you to go from here to there and where you want to be in your facility. So thanks for making it with me to the end. Looks like we were a lot faster than the allocated hour, so that gives us a little bit more time for some live polling and some great Q&A. So with that, we'll get into our polling time, and you can submit some questions for the Q&A. Thanks again.
Hey everybody, thanks for sticking with us. We're going to go into that time of Q&A. So if you have a question, go ahead and type it into the Q&A box. Looks like I'm going to get you 30 minutes back of your Wednesday afternoon. We did have one question that said, asked, what protocol do we use to integrate with our building management systems? We use both BACnet IP as well as BACnet MSTP. Kind of going forward, most of our solutions are going to be focused on the BACnet IP protocol. And then we'll see if we have any additional questions here. So it looks like we got one question around what's the best way to make all of the control strategies work. And it looks like from our experience, when you go up to the network controls, whether that be wired or wireless controls, is really where you can achieve all 6 strategies pretty much at one time, right, of taking advantage of the occupancy sensor and daylight harvesting. And then on the controls side, you can do the auto scheduling and task tuning within the software. So, you know, some of the control strategies you can use with just a sensor, and others are best to take advantage of with a networked control solution. So we got one question on it. Is it possible to take our data and place it in a third-party dashboard? Yes, it is. And believe that will be part of our Atrius platform, being able to do that going forward in the future. One question, are LED fixtures CE certified for use in Europe? We do have a broad range of fixtures that are CE certified in Europe. We actually have a Holophane UK division that services a lot of that area of the country, and a lot of those are certified for CE. One question on how do we overcome the objection that LED lighting is becoming cheaper and more efficient, so I want to wait to upgrade. Typically now, with some of the solutions that we have being, in some cases, over 200 lumens per watt, you can easily get that ROI down to under a year and a half in some cases if you're replacing some HID systems. So, you know, the difference between, 206 lumens per watt and 220, you're looking at maybe a month off of the ROI, and so now we've really reached kind of the pinnacle of efficiency and cost and really getting that ROI down. And so that's typically what we kind of look at as the upgrade curve of LEDs and what that's going to do on the ROI. So with me is the product manager over the kind of Atrius space utilization, John. And John, I do have a question for you. What is the software, kind of the backbone that we're using for the space utilization?
So what we're using is we're leveraging the nLight architecture and the nLight Eclipse, and that is all getting pushed into a Microsoft Azure cloud, where all the data is stored. And then we're visualizing all the data utilizing DG Logic, which is a company that we purchased about a year and a half ago. And we're utilizing their DG Lux platform, where all of the data is visualized and located.
That sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty easy, so that's good. I appreciate it.
No worries.
Another one from looks like Mr. Gary. Which wireless protocol do Acuity light fixtures work with? We certainly have some that are Bluetooth enabled, as he kind of asked. We do have one within our XPoint wireless platform that is a mesh network, and sort of proprietary to Acuity, although it does kind of work with some other things as well. So that's typically what we do on the wireless side for industrial fixtures. See if we got any more questions for here. One question of, can we include security cameras to the sensors? Not necessarily in the actual occupancy sensor, although security cameras can certainly be a part of that building management system and then integrated into the larger platform of some of the software that we do offer. So John, I have one more question for you. If everybody's interested in learning more a little bit about that Atrius spatialization, what's the best path for them to take right now?
So we'll be launching a lot of new web content on the website soon. So I would just say keep looking out for that. We have some of our new launches coming up, and there'll be a lot of sales material and marketing materials coming out with that. So if you have any urgent requests or anything like that, send an email to product support space utilization at acuitybrands.com, or just be on the lookout for new information coming out from Acuity Brands.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Well, we'll give it a few more seconds here on any additional questions. Oh, there's one about, do I see white light tuning becoming a seventh strategy? I certainly see tunable white becoming probably much more mainstream, having been at Light Fair and a lot of the different solutions that are out there. So it's exciting to see, especially what Acuity is doing with our dynamic lighting platform and some of the other things and the controls that we're bringing there. So I can certainly see it being a strategy that's going to be employed not only from a lighting but also from a controls standpoint as well. All right, looks like it's about all the questions so far, and you got 30 minutes back of your Wednesday afternoon. I appreciate giving me 30 minutes of your time today to explain some more of these solutions, and appreciate it. You can always find out more going to acuitybrands.com, and I hope everybody has a great Wednesday. See you later.